But at this time, I think in the interest of time, one final thanks, and then we can move on to our open dialogue section of today's agenda. Before we wrap, I think we have less than 20 minutes to go. What we wanted to do was take a moment to discuss what sort of plans different CABs had around engagement in HIV 2020 and AIDS 2020. So if you all had a moment to discuss what your respective agency or CAB will be doing, this is the place to share that information. And so, Jeff, go ahead and jump right on in.
Thanks, Danielle. So as Danielle well knows, the AMPAR CAB at UCSF is planning a community forum on HIV research in conjunction with the AIDS 2020. We'll be doing it in Oakland because we feel it's an underserved community, and it'll be at a venue very close to the convention center where the Oakland part of the meeting is going to be held. And so far, we've secured the participation of Timothy Ray Brown, the Berlin patient, the London patient, whom Timothy and I have been talking to and is eager to kind of make his debut, so to speak, at that meeting, and also Lorene Willenberg, sometimes referred to as a San Francisco patient. So we're really excited about that, and yeah, I just wanted to let people know that that's going to be happening. We're still trying to find a right venue because we think the space we originally had is going to not be big enough for the crowds will likely attract. So stay tuned for that, and we'll keep everybody posted.
Awesome news. Thank you. So the London patient is going to reveal themselves at our meeting?
Yes, yeah, and I can say he's a he because that's been publicly revealed. But yes, he's planning to, I think he's working with a journalist now to get an article out there at about the same time and attend the meeting. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. He's being very intentional, talking a lot to Timothy about, you know, what his experience was and advice on how to kind of avoid some of the drawbacks that Timothy experienced.
He's also on Twitter. He has a Twitter account.
Oh, is he now? Okay.
Yes.
So a couple questions.
God, I wonder if the meeting will be canceled.
Don't say.
Oh, I hadn't even begun to think of that.
If Manuel's on the call still, he might be able to tell us more about that. Manuel, are you still here? He might be gone.
Hello.
Yeah.
Manuel is on. He was just unmuted.
Oh.
Manuel?
Hi there. There are no updates as of today. From my understanding, the meeting is still on. We have a meeting in a few weeks in person in San Francisco and Oakland. So if anything, we will all update you if things develop.
Thank you for that. Jeff, really quick, was there a date set for the AMPAR meeting that you spoke about?
Yeah, tentatively it was July 7th, but I know our CAB chair, Rob Mules, has a conflict that day. So we're looking at a different day and a different venue. So TBD.
TBD?
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Richard.
No, I was just going to say, I think the International AIDS Society is also planning to have a one-day HIV cure research with the community. I think they call it community event immediately before the conference, similar to the one they did in Amsterdam. And I think the agenda is just being put together now.
Okay. And so iPhone, LPM, no name listed. Hopefully that answers your question. So this is different. The event that Jeff mentioned is different.
Yeah.
Any other feedback from folks on what sort of activities you're planning around AIDS 2020 and HIV 2020? Is anybody on the call attending HIV 2020 or know what sorts of programmatic developments are coming out of that meeting that they can share?
Hi, this is Michael. I'm, the Laurie, Emmanuel, and I are all set to go, and so is another CAB member of ours, Keon. And we do have an application into the Global Village to have a cure booth in the Global Village. And we're hoping to do this collaboratively with other international cure cabs that are working on cure with community in some way. And so we've been partnering with groups in Melbourne, Australia, and we're looking to get other people on board, but we have yet to really do that work. It's a matter of like wanting to know if we get accepted before we go full-fledged and do that. But we're talking about having an interactive booth, building a mosaic with people giving us answers to questions, and then having little pop-ups throughout the time there, as well as lots of outreach materials. So if people do have community-friendly outreach materials that they would like to have at people's for people to access, we will have a table there for that.
Michael, I missed if you mentioned which conference.
Oh, that's the IAS conference. I thought that's what we were talking about. AIDS 2020.
Or HIV 2020. We're talking about all plans that folks may have.
Right. So I was talking about AIDS 2020.
So hi, this is Beth. We put in a Global Village workshop submission so that we can broadcast our video series to a global audience. So we're waiting to hear back from that, but we're excited about that. And Beat HIV CAB community members attending to support that.
Okay. And then Luvia says that on July 5th, there's a molecular aspect of HIV cure being organized by Melanie Ott. Luvia, can you take yourself off mute and say a little bit more about that meeting? Was anybody else aware of this meeting happening and what it's about?
Yeah, this is Richard. I think the idea is that the molecular one, as the name kind of sounds, is going to be sort of scientist targeted and a bit more science heavy, and the community event is going to be obviously targeted to the community, but maybe also to clinicians and service providers that are interested in learning more about what's going on with cure research. And I think there's an idea to have the two meetings kind of next to each other so that there can be some sort of back and forth, and the scientists that are the hardcore scientists can get to participate in some of the community event and vice versa. But I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. And I think Livia may be off mute now.
Okay.
Well, iPhone has raised his hand, or her hand.
iPhone, go ahead. Come on in, Olivia. We can't hear you if you're speaking.
I think I just need to say goodbye to everybody. I'm not really feeling well, and I think I need to get back in bed. But this has been a wonderful experience. Thanks to everybody that made it possible.
Get better.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It looks like Livia should be off mute, so I'm sorry. I'm not sure what's going on there. If there's just an audio issue. And I did also want to recognize that Livia was among a number of people that actually traveled early to Croy in order to attend our workshop, and ended up arriving to find that everything had been cancelled. So we're obviously incredibly sorry about that, and thanks for joining the virtual meeting today.
We appreciate you, Luvia. I see Marianne typing in 2 general questions. The remainder of your chat didn't come through, Marianne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still no. Okay. So Marianne wants to know if
Home
anyone.
test.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
The need for a viral load home test. is what she's bringing up. And how is the development going for that? I don't know if anyone has any anything to say about that.
Others may know. I know it's definitely viewed as desirable, and that there's work going on. Hoping to maybe have a sort of pinprick kind of test or something even easier, where people could monitor themselves for viral rebound at home if they were participating in an ATI study, and that was hoping to have some kind of extended period of undetectability.
Right. But I haven't heard about anything that's been close to even workable yet on that, but I don't know anything about it. Lori has her hand raised. I don't know if Lori might know something.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the kind of test where you can actually run the whole thing at home and see your result at home, that's not available. But there are kits where you could actually collect your blood and send it out by mail for testing. Keith has talked about that. They have an assay that I think is usable. I don't know what the availability of that is right now, but I know that that level of technology is developed and could be employed.
Lori, this is Jeff. Is that a dried blood spot, or is it actual blood that they're having to ship?
I don't remember the specifics of it. I was having a lunchtime conversation with Keith when we were at the persistence meeting, and he said if that was a technology people were interested in, they have, the assay and the capacity to do that, where you collect your blood at home and send it out.
Yeah, it'd be great to see that trialed in somewhere as part of an ATI.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it would be great, and I think Keith would be, open to that. So I'm not
I would
sure
say
who
he'd be
needs.
open to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure who needs to be involved in that discussion and how to get it moving, but
I think Luis may have some feedback as well.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So we had Merck at Wistar last week because we are currently trying to coordinate with them the implementation of just what you just described, a at-home blood draw device that is attaches to your arm by an adhesive, and then you mail it in, and then you get a value back. So we're trying to determine to what extent we could add that into the BEAT trials in order to take advantage of that opportunity. We may not include it in the trial itself, but actually open a separate protocol that allows for enrollment so that could be made possible. But the dialogue is underway, and I know Merck is interested. So we hope to make that happen.
Luis, how long is it before you get the viral load results back?
It's really, it's still a research discussion. They're basically trying to determine how feasible and applicable this is. So this is not a study designed for implementation. It's a study designed for feasibility and to kind of address the questions that you just raised. How feasible is this? How sensitive? Is it usable and valuable when you tie it into regular monitoring, and do people comply and use it? So it's all of those things, which are basic questions before you get into okay, everything is great. Now how do you implement it? So I think we're one step before that.
Mm.
But the good news is that they're talking about such a device. So I was excited to learn that.
That's great.
There is another comment in the chat box, Michael, if you want to tackle that one.
Which one? So Livia is disconnected. I see here. They're all coming in here and moving it on me. Here we go. Perfect pick of cure development and community involvement. What are the needs for the next 3 years? Like a global CAB network. So I guess this question's really asking us about cure, the development of cure and the community involvement in that, and what are our needs for the next 3 years. Does anyone have any general ideas they want to shout out?
I mean, it's something that I've been thinking about quite a lot, just in terms of, are there ways that we could facilitate better communication as the number of cabs related to cure research grows? We're not particularly, I mean, we do have different representatives that have come to this workshop, which has been great, but we don't really have any kind of formal system for intercommunication, and maybe that's something that we can think about. Whether we can do better. And I know we have the listserv, but it's kind of not really a discussion group as such, and is a bit science heavy. It would be great if we could think of ways of sort of facilitating even occasional meetings like this, where members of different cure-related cabs around the world can participate. Obviously, if we can address sort of language issues and things like that.
I agree with you, Richard. I think it's going to be up to us to provide a platform and then let it happen and let it grow. I think that's really what it just needs, is for us to acknowledge that there might be a need even just for general communication, even if it's a quarterly call that one of us hosts, where we can do a Zoom, since we've all proven that we can do Zoom today, and make it available. And I think by holding something like that, that's when we'll see it grow.
How about we do something at AIDS 2020 or HIV 2020? We'll all be in the space. Even if it's a quick.
Yeah, I think a platform would be great. I would say that one mechanism that ABEC is working on is we do have a platform called Engage that we could share with people. And if people think it would be valuable, we would be happy to open up that space. But I think in the meantime, until that gets launched, I'd love to have a quarterly call, or perhaps meet at AIDS 2020 if it's still on. Yes.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
And I say that with a lot of hope.
Good question. I think the Zoom stock just went up, Michael. If you want to invest in stocks, I think it's a good idea to invest in Zoom. Kidding. One of my comment would be, I think it would be great to have meetings that are specific to different topics. Like, we have a number of collaboratories working on BNAbs, broad neutralizing antibodies, others working on cell and gene therapies, others needing to discuss issues around ATIs. Other groups are interested in scaling up post-treatment control research in resource-limited settings, or needing to create information for the community around ATIs or post-treatment control research. So I think it may be good to have a narrow focus for some of these calls as we move forward, but we could be working across groups and across silos and have a more strategic approach. Just an idea.
I think that's a great idea, Corinne. I would just also add to Maren's comment about a global CAB and Richard interacting. There are global CAB structures that are already in place that we could tap into that aren't focusing on cure, but could help amplify our message or provide different perspectives. For instance, the ECHO trial, which was on contraception and HIV risk, that CAB, that CAB is still, sorry, I'm at home today, so, that is also really focusing now on women's issues. Sexual reproductive health and HIV. Cure is a natural fit into there and fits with a lot of the themes that we've been talking about today. So getting some of those members invested and involved would be really helpful as well.
Mm.
I think the other basic step would be to just sort of develop a listing of all the cure-related CABs that are out there, because I know, Moses has a group in Uganda. There's one,
yes,
maybe more than one in Australia. So if we could sort of compile a list, and with the members as well, if they're willing to be public about their membership, that would be a great starting point of figuring out who's out there and who it would be good to be communicating with and connecting.
Yeah,
Richard, I'm willing to help you and Michael follow up on that.
Especially since we were interested in doing that for the Global Village booth that we were proposing. I was going to say that I'm definitely up for building that list. And so anyone who's listening, I'll be a contact person for that information, since I'm going to be wanting to put that together anyway to make sure that I get a fair representation. So I'll share what I have with people. And as we're going on, it'll be something that obviously we add and grow together.
Thanks, Michael.
And thanks for that, Jess. We have our praises from Mark Wagner. Making this work. We did a great job. I will take it at face value.
I really want to thank Corinne again for just sort of having the knowledge and ambition to realize that this was doable when the less technically competent among us, me included, were a little worried and uncertain.
It takes a village, Richard. I want to thank Michael for all the work he's put in as well, the virtual meeting, and also advertising this meeting.
My pleasure.
And also everybody that's managed to hang on and participate all day.
It was a long day. And we should thank our sponsors.
We love them.
Yes,
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I think there may still be some hotel bills to pay, but we won't worry about that right now.
No, we won't.
Please, Louise, don't they people consider it for once?
All right.
There's no.
Take us out.
We'll walk out. We'll wish you all well. Safe travels on your way. And thank you for joining today's platform. See you next time.
Yes. Be well, everyone.
Thank you, Danielle and Michael.
Thanks, Michael and Danielle, for being fantastic hosts.
You're welcome. Take
You're
care.
Welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye, July.
Mhm. I leave. Close, leave.
Sorry, Livy, you just came through right at the end. If you have anything to say, it's fine to still speak up now, although we may be losing people.
Oh,
okay. I think we're closing out.
Yeah. See you, Richard.
Thanks, everyone. See you. Bye.